What is something you did once and never again? Tried to intervene during a street fight. Got shot for my troubles. A marathon in the desert. Edit. I just woke up in my time zone and boom, this exploded. Thank you for the awards and the upvotes. I'm gonna try and reply as much as possible. Ran out of toilet paper when I was 11, saw alcohol wipe cloths and thought that would work just fine. Nope, as soon as I did that first wipe it was as if the sun teleported into my asshole and I was hopping around the bathroom trying not to squeal. Mom opened the door to check on the noise and saw me jumping around with an alcohol pad between my cheeks. Keep alcohol away from your anus. Grabbed the hot grill as a 5-year-old. Learned my lesson. Edit. Wow, this blew up overnight. Thanks for the awards. And sorry to everyone injuring themselves. Bought a $20 lottery ticket. Lost $20. Never again. When I was 14, I accidentally mistook bike chain lube for sex lube. At first, I wondered why it was blue, but that thought was almost immediately overpowered by an intense burning sensation. Skydive. Nope, didn't help with my fear of heights. I stole a tester eyeliner from the makeup section at a store when I was 17. The security guy took me aside in a small room and questioned me, asked for my information, and to scare me, he said this would always be in my record and companies won't want to hire me anymore, and I burst into tears and had a panic attack. He said he'll let me off if I pay double the price of the eyeliner, so I did and he let me go. Now, I don't know how much of what he told me was real and if the resolve was legitimate, but if he tried to just scare me into not becoming a serial swiper, it worked. Spelunking, cave exploring. For starters, it begins and ends with going through a million bats. And the journey in between is just too dangerous, in the last place in the world you'd want to get hurt. And super tight squeezes are freaky. One time, I was around 12 or 13. I suddenly took interest on my sharpener. Since my pinky finger was small enough I decided why don't I sharpen my finger? Like why the fuck not? So I plunged it in and twisted, hard. Took nearly a week to heal. One of the most stupidest things I ever done. Removing paint from a table. I still need to finish sanding the thing but that was a nightmare. Who paints a table with like 30 coats? Went to Times Square for New Year's Eve in New York City. I live in NYC and I figured it was the kinda thing I wanted to see but didn't need to see again. Went in 2000 when I was 18. Got there 11 a.m. and stayed for 13 hours in the freezing cold but with close spots to the ball drop and screen. I'm glad I did it. I'm also glad I've never done it again. Salvia. I experimented with lots of drugs, and especially psychedelics when I was younger but man. Take the most intense part of an acid trip but without any lead up to ease you in. So you go from stone cold sober to tripping balls in seconds. The trip only lasts for 5 minutes but you spend the next couple of hours playing catch up with your brain trying to make sense of things. And you'd better make sure you're with people you trust because I could have easily walked right off my balcony without thinking twice about it. Buy cheap toilet paper. That one-ply crap, which was a cross between either using sandpaper on your crack or accidentally ripping through it and fingering yourself. Cheat on a partner. Learned the hard way as a dumb teen that this is one of worst things you can do and only ever leads to everyone involved getting seriously hurt. Meth. Cocaine. I remember feeling alive, feeling like myself for the first time, feeling like I was bursting at the seams with creative ideas. I was finally the person I wished I was, as creative as I wished I was, and as motivated as I wished I was. I felt like I had found the secret holy grail of success and happiness. Then I thought, oh, fuck. This is why people get addicted to it. So I vowed not to do it again and back to being depressed and unmotivated. Assume the green stuff on the sushi tray was avocado. Fried bacon naked. Stayed at a bed and breakfast. I'm not social enough to socialize with people during breakfast. Climbed the stairs up the CN Tower. It's a twice-a-year thing for charity. My friends and husband were all like, yeah, come join us. It's so fun. Number 249 flights of stairs is not fun. I've done it once. It's crossed off. Never again. Spray deodorant on my ass to cover up the smell of my farting. I was 6. Once that spray hit my bullet hole, the burning began. So when I was really young I liked to play military or something and one time I wanted to be a hostage, and escape from it to fight the bad guys like an idiot. However I couldn't get the tape to work myself so I asked my brother for help, so I went onto a cabinet and had my brother do it. I was excited to escape and fight the bad guys, then I woke up in my dad's car dizzy, confused and dazzled. What had happened was because I was an idiot, and my brother was too, I was tied up on top of the cabinet, so when I wanted to get down I basically faceplanted so hard my mom said it looked like I got murdered. I amazingly only had a broken nose. So I never played hostage again. I was a stupid kid. Opening a link in Reddit when someone else in the comments said not to. Get drunk till I blacked out. Having people fill in the gaps in your memory is terrifying, especially not knowing how you got home. I don't drink anymore. Edit. Spelling is hard. This one time I was getting a drink that was only for $1, so I sped walked my way into the mini shops, quickly grabbed one and ran out. I was running to my friend with the drink until I felt something in my pocket, pulled it out and it was the $. Sudden realization. I quickly ran back to the mini shop to see the shop owners scanning the outside of their shop. I gave them my $, and said, sorry. They looked at the $, looked at each other, spoke in a different language, and went back inside. I'm pretty sure they called me an idiot, as I went back with shame. Op is really attentive to the answers and we should appreciate that. Ate a whole habanero in 2 bites. Edit. Rip my inbox with everyone's similar stories. Not paying attention to currents when swimming in the sea, and going anyway when there's a red flag and no guard. Dumbest shit ever. I was with my 2 brothers and my father, happily splashing around. Suddenly we turn around and the shore just got very far away. So we start swimming back, but the sea is stronger than you. If you stop 5 seconds to catch your breath, you lose the progress you did during the last minute, and that's precious. I was young, so I don't remember it is a legit life-threatening situation, but my bros and dad still got chills when talking about it. Got drunk once with friends under the Ambassador Bridge drinking 120 proof rum from duty-free shop. Puked my guts out. Can't stand the smell of rum since, and it's been 53 years. When I was a kid, my neighbor invited me to hang out with this new friend from school. He brought us about a mile across farm fields to a house he enjoyed stalking behind and watching for hours. Never saw him again, but always wondered if it caught up with him. Edit. For clarity, my old neighbor met a new friend at their school, I went to a different one. The new friend proceeded to walk us across town to the house he'd been stalking. I did die for 2 malinutes after a heart attack and don't plan on doing that again, for a while anyway. Does that count? Hitchhiked. At 17. To Mexico. Coke out of a fat guy's belly button. Third wheeling, never again. Makes me realize how lonely I truly am. Bath salts. Tried some from a guy who went by Asian Billy. I did about enough to cover the head of a framing nail and was pretty much having a panic attack for the next 8 hours. I went to a casino with the other people I was working with and Asian Billy and sat at a blackjack table and just said, I have no idea what I'm doing, sorry everyone if I mess up your bets. Everyone was cool and I ended up winning $175. Pee in a garbage bin in front of a teacher thinking that it was a toilet. Sleep is important. Tried to exist with undermedicated bipolar disorder. Used Nair to remove all the hair from my junk with little effort. Don't ever do this. Cocaine. Feeling strong is a slight misnomer. You feel like your presence in the world at large has increased exponentially so that strong comes off as an observation, not how you actually feel. Invincible is the closest word. Fun once and I left it at once. I called my mom by her first name once. Peed on a fence. Did you know some cattle fences are electrified? Sweet op. Thank you for asking and creating this discourse among strangers, but you know the correct answer, of course, your mom. When I just found out about masturbation, I used dish soap as lubricant. At first it was fine, but I didn't wash it after. The next day I woke up with skin peeling off the top of my dick. I could barely take a shower, it stung so bad. Never again. Enlisted in the military in a combat arms job. Jerk off in the living room, my mom walked in. Cigarette. I'm mildly asthmatic. Get struck by lightning, oh wait, that was 2 times hun. Lost my virginity, never again. Have a relationship with an alcoholic. He was sober for 2 years when we met and then stayed sober for another 2. The next 3 years were total hell. In and out of rehabs, so much heartache, disappointment and resentment on both sides. I was the only one working. I was the one doing everything at home. So many nights and weekends spent driving to and being at rehabs to visit, so no time off. I really loved him. I really believed I just had to support him by doing absolutely everything I could. Always visiting, bringing everything he asked for, not whining for him to work or even do housework when he was sober, basically ensuring there was no stress at all in his life. I really believed he would get sober again. I really believed that it would be okay. Until one day I knew it would not.